today we have with us at the Pro Dr. Rupal Dalal, professor in the Center of Technology and Alternatives for Rural Areas in IIT Bombay. Dr. Rupal, welcome to the Pro. So first of all, I would like to ask you like what exactly is malnutrition and like what are the signs or what are the key points that we look upon and we say that this certain child is malnourished. What is that
Yeah,
criteria? Please explain.
yeah. That's a very good question, actually, basic questions. Mal means not good, like mal, not normal. Okay. Nutrition means portion, right? Now, it could be undernutrition, means children are not fed what they need to grow, or the child is fed something which is not healthy, okay, and that can make child obese. So that is also malnutrition. When we talk about malnutrition, we always think in any बच्चा कुपोषित है कुपोषित. We always have this picture in our mind कि अगर पतला बच्चा है, that is कुपोषित, right? The one who is obese, the one who is big, fat, those children are also malnourished. Okay, sometimes children may be perfectly normal looking. Okay, but when you do the labs, when you do their fasting sugar, when you do that blood test and all, and it looks abnormal, you know, so those children are also malnourished. Okay, so it's there are different ways of looking the nutrition status of a child. Okay, now if I look at undernutrition, let's talk about undernutrition. Okay, so in India, basically we have different nutrition indicators that we assess. Okay, nutrition indicators matlab natapan, okay, that is stunting. Then that means the height is low. In younger than 2 years of age, we tell them length is short. Okay, second one is your underweight. Underweight matlab age के हिसाब से बच्ची का वजन कम है. So that is basically your child is kind of low weight as per the age. Okay, and there is something called wasting. Wasting matlab acute malnutrition. Acute malnutrition means that as per the height, the child's weight is low. Because as per that height, suppose the child is short, but as per the short height, there should be minimum weight for that short height. But we also have a high rate of wasting in India. So children are short, but even for that short height, those children don't have that minimum weight. Okay, and that's called acute malnutrition. We call it severe acute malnutrition, which is SAM, and moderate acute malnutrition, which is called MAM. So depending upon the severity. Okay, now when it comes to obesity also presently we have a data from CNNS, which is basically taken by Ministry of Health for all the children in India. Excellent study done by Ministry of Health actually, and as per that we have a huge rate of obesity, pre-diabetes, poor good cholesterol which has to be high. It's low in many children. Children have high triglyceride level, means fatty liver. This is all kuposhin. It's all kuposhin. Children are not fed what they're supposed to be feeding, and that's why we have so much of 9% children in India between 5 to 9 years of age. They are pre-diabetic, and also what I would say is, and the HbA1c is high. 30% children have high triglyceride, means they are developing metabolic diseases. High triglyceride means fat in the liver, right? So again, we want to kind of think of not just undernutrition, but overall general nutrition of children.
Before
and one more nutrition indicators that I have not mentioned is basically your micronutrient deficiency. Like for example, anemia. Anemia, children may look perfectly healthy in terms of weight and height, but they may be pale. Okay, so we also have a high rate of anemia in our children. Okay, also there are different causes of anemia. But of course, in our country, one of the most common causes is iron deficiency. Then you have vitamin B12 deficiency. Then you have, other nutrient deficiency, folate deficiency. So it's basically, you have macro deficiency, you have micro deficiency, and you have something called obesity, overweight. So all that comes under, malnutrition. If you look at overall picture, I would say almost 80 to 90% children are malnourished. if you look at overall picture, not just undernourished. And undernourished data is also pretty significant. As per NFHS 5 data, 36% children are stunted with a short under 5 years. 36%, every third child is stunted. Can you imagine? And all these children, when they grow up, their height is very, very low. So, for example, average height of a 19-year-old male is only 5'4", 5'4", okay? And the average height of a girl, 19-year-old woman, is only 5 feet. And all the height is determined in first 3 to 6 months, because that's when the height growth is the highest. They may catch up a little bit, but the potential is gone, right? So it's right where the first year of life, when child needs to grow beautifully, they're not growing.
This thing of malnutrition and this data is more horrible in the tribal and remote areas as compared to the urban areas. I have spoken to certain food activists in Jharkhand also, and also I have read about certain particular districts in Maharashtra where the situation is very horrible. So what is the reason? Like, where are we lagging in especially the tribal areas?
Yeah. So I'll tell you something. People who are little educated or who can afford, okay, and it's not that situation is okay in urban slums and rural areas. It's pretty much the same thing. It just doesn't come out. Tribal area does come out. To be frank, people in rural areas or urban areas, what they do is, if they see the child is not gaining weight, mothers and families, they start them on formulas, they start them on cow milk. At least they feed something to the baby. In tribal areas, basically, if you look at NFHS data, breastfeeding rate is exclusive breastfeeding rate is very high. Means 86%, and Nandurbar is 86%. 86% mothers are breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding. But what is happening? They are breastfeeding, but the techniques that they are using, it's not effective. That means that the milk which mother is producing is not going to baby's tummy. Okay, so the technicality is the issue all over India. Okay, and I work a lot on technical aspect. We have also published papers. Okay, there's one more RCT, randomized control trial, which is coming up in we did it in Nandurbar, which will get published soon. There's one from Banaskantha also. So what I'm saying is, and after 6 months, the kind of food that children need to grow in height and weight, they are not getting those foods. So they are not. They're getting predominantly rice water, dal water, some vegetable here and there. What they need to grow is basically protein, right? So they're not getting good amount of protein. They're not getting first class protein. First class protein में आता है आपका, dahi hai, आपका eggs, fish, and tribals, they eat all that stuff, but because of their myths, they're not taught to give those. They themselves eat, but they don't give it to the children because of a lot of myths. So, and one more thing, what I have also experienced in a lot of our projects, all these babies are born very small. Okay, because during pregnancy time, what these mothers eat is predominantly rice-based diet. In northern areas, they eat a lot more wheat. So wheat, rice, these are all grains. Now grains पे क्या होता है, कार्बोहाइड्रेट ज्यादा होता है, प्रोटीन की मात्रा इतनी कम होती है, मतलब it doesn't get absorbed. The quality of protein is not good. Okay, so they are eating food which does not have protein, enough good quality protein. तो हमारे बच्चे, like in tribal areas, they are born 2 kg, 1.8 kg, 2.2, you know what I mean? And even in urban areas where mothers are educated, they put on weight themselves. While in pregnancy, they put on weight, but when the baby comes out, they're only 2.5, 2.6 kg. So the average weight of a baby in India is 2.7 kg only. Okay. Now, if you look at WHO standards, average birth weight all over the world for a boy is 3.3 kg, and average birth weight of a girl child is 2.2 kg. So you think now right there's 500 or 600 gram weight less. And then these mothers are not taught proper techniques. So, and then what has happened is healthcare workers are taught that 500 gram weight gain is good, don't do anything unless child is gaining less than 500 grams. So they don't take any action. This 500 gram weight limit is very, very low in India. It's very low. In US, we have a minimum 900 grams per month. 500 gram is too low. And what I recommend, actually, as per WHO recommendation, is 1.2 kg a month. Okay. So you can imagine how lower the standards are. So there are a lot of other loopholes also. I can talk in detail, but there are a lot of loopholes, and healthcare workers are not taught. They are not taught correct techniques. They are not taught correct standards. They're not taught correct cutoffs. And that's why you see so much of malnutrition. Otherwise, why should we have so much malnutrition? India is a developed, I would say it's quite developing world. I would say developed. Now we have gone on the moon actually, So, and we are sitting with all these developed countries, and we have G20 meetings in India. Why should our children become malnourished, right? We should not have malnutrition, and it is easily tackled. I'm telling you, it's easily tackled because I have worked in Nandurbar. I'm working in Nashik. So many other Washim also we started, and we are seeing just incredible results when the healthcare workers are taught proper techniques and skills. Children are being born now 3.6 kg, even 4 kg baby, a tribal baby, tribal girl child being born 4 kg. Imagine, bigger than an American child. And this are all just basically teaching mothers what to eat, and then they are gaining 1.5 kg a month. A lot of the small babies are gaining 1.5 kg a month, so they immediately pick up their weight and they double their weight within 1.5 months or so. So yeah, I mean, it's doable. It's just that government needs to kind of take this forward, and IIT Bombay is doing a lot of work on that.
This was my next question. In fact, that where has the government lagged? Like there have been many issues, like the availability of healthcare centers, the proximity of healthcare centers in remote areas. Apart from that, like in many cases, we have also seen that wrong exclusion of people from government schemes, basic government schemes like ration and all.
Correct.
So these issues have been there. So, like my question is, what has the government done in this direction, and where has it lagged? What is still, what is that is still needs to be done? So please put that.
So the thing is, government has a very good infrastructure. Okay, they have amazing infrastructure. They have Anganwadis in each and every village. They have Anganwadi workers. They have Ashas, right? They have primary healthcare center. They have sub centers. So they have a good infrastructure. They have district hospital, rural hospital, right? It's just that I feel that the training part, okay, and the implementation part, that's where if government can focus, the training is teaching the correct skills, teaching correct what nutrients that mother needs to eat. Healthcare workers, if like when we ask questions to healthcare workers, including medical officers who are working with government, we ask them that, okay, how much protein are you taking? Nobody knows. And when we ask them to calculate, we teach them how to calculate, they realize they're eating only 10 to 20 grams of protein. I said, do you know that pregnant mothers need 80 grams of protein? Like, so imagine if they themselves don't know how to keep themselves healthy, how will they give advice to pregnant mothers, right? Similarly, for we basically promote something called cross-cradle techniques. These are the techniques that again we have improvised at IIT Bombay and published a lot of data on it. So nobody knows that techniques. Of course, WHO recommend, but people are generally doing the traditional hold of breastfeeding, and that is not showing good results in a program. Okay, we did a experimental study where we basically compared both cradle hold and cross cradle hold. Cradle hold children who were doing cradle hold had 3 times more malnutrition at 3 months of age, 3 times more underweight. So again, it's not that pregnant or say somebody who is educated gets more milk, or somebody who is a rich mother gets more milk. It's not that. There is no cost. You just have to teach the mother correct technique, right? Similarly, 6-month-old babies, they don't need some exotic food, right? 6 महीने का बच्चा कितना खाता है? They eat just little bit, not much, right? So then, it's just that healthcare workers need to know where exactly the target counseling point. So focus on the protein aspect and you see children growing beautifully, you know. So, and one more thing about THR. Now, problem with THR, take-home ration, is many of the states, they provide take-home ration which has too much of sugar. Like, for example, Gujarat may, if they give one serving of that food, 30% is sugar. Can you imagine? अगर 100 ग्राम का अगर कुछ खाना है तो उसमें से 30 ग्राम 33 grams, so 34 grams is sugar, which is like about 6 teaspoon of sugar. Can you imagine? And sugar से तो बच्चे को obviously he will get eventually he'll get diabetes, right? So what government is trying to do is to fatten them up. You know, it's more of grain based. What we need is more of first class protein. You know, so growing bacha needs first class protein just as the pregnant mothers. Okay, so I do recommend that they should kind of make some products or promote products or give those products which are high good quality protein, and you can also add some in that product. You know, if you can add some milk powder or any of those, that will increase the bioavailability of other nutrients also and also protein. You understand what I'm saying? जो 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 चाहिए वो नहीं मिल रहा है, and children are not going to gain, or pregnant mothers are not going to get good sized baby with rice and dal, you know. And rice is like 5 kg, dal is 1 kg. So, you know, the kind of THR that they're getting, it's useless actually. By and large, and most of the state, I'm not talking about every state. Some of them have a very good THR, you know. But I feel that 6 months ago, if they start giving 1 egg a day, you know, children who eat eggs, and children who don't eat eggs, then at least some dahi. दही या दूध तो बच्चे का माँ को मिलेगा, लेकिन दही is a good way of giving good class good quality protein, you know.
Okay. So, like, as you have worked and implemented the digital health record of children, you have already implemented that in Washim and Nashik, as you just told me, and now you are going to work with the Thane district authorities to implement the same. So please tell us what is this and like how it comes in handy in our fight against malnutrition.
Yeah. A very good question. Actually, this is the reason I'm at IIT Bombay, actually, you know, not just teaching students, engineering students, but because I worked in, you know, this malnourished areas, urban slums and tribal areas, and I learned there. Okay, all my learning is coming from working in the field, not from US, because my education is from US. And of course, because education, I worked there also in US, I realized how technology was helping us in US, right? Taking care of children. So when I came back to India in 2006 December, I started working in one of the NGO in slums of Mumbai. You know, I felt that I came 100 years backward because, you know, we were already using EMR, electronic medical record, electronic health record. Everything was electronic, you know, world-class anthropometric measurements like weighing scale, you know, digital scales, all that. And over here in slums, you know, there were not even any notes. Like, and I said, without documentation, how can we take care of? So anyway, so all that, and in that, during that time, we came up with some really nice software. But what happened in 2016, IIT Bombay, Professor Kannan Mogdyale, he was a principal investigator of Spoken Tutorial Project. Okay, they were making these tutorials in multiple Indian languages for students who had not gotten to IIT Bombay, but they wanted to train them at IIT standard, you know, at IIT standard. So they were teaching their students, almost 60 to 70 lakh children have been trained, you know, using our spoken tutorial in terms of, you know, software languages and other topics, right? But in 2016, Professor Kannan said that we want to do this for health and nutrition. Okay. Now, think about all my learning that I had, you know, it was like God sent that IIT Bombay said, okay, we can create this platform in multiple Indian languages. You give us the content you're learning and we'll create animated tutorials. Okay. So we created so far about 102 tutorials, okay, on nutrition through life cycle approach. So on basically on skills. There's a skill-based tutorial, and also they are there in tribal languages also. So we are creating in tribal languages as well. Okay, and what happened is, as we were creating this tutorial, now we have pretty much all of them ready. We have few more, 15, 20, 16 more tutorials to go. A bit, we are also working on adult nutrition. Okay, but now we wanted to take this to the district, but you can't just show the video. Like, it's not something that, okay, you see the video, yeah, they can learn, but there's something called implementation, right? We had to select some people in the district to become master trainers. Okay, and these master trainers can teach all the other healthcare workers in a systematic manner. Okay, and then not just that, but actually applied whatever they learned through health spoken tutorials into the field. मतलब बच्चे का वजन बढ़ाना है. So then, so what we do, and for that, what we have created with the help of one of the very intelligent software engineer and scientist, actually, we have created this application where uh, we have all this tutorials. So what we have done in this application, we have cut it into 10-second clip, just 10-second clip, right? So what happens, say for example, if a healthcare worker is going to mother's house, okay, and then she's examining or she's observing how mother is breastfeeding. Okay, so app will ask few questions in the form of graphics. Okay, you just watch the mother and see if this is how baby is feeding, or this is how baby is feeding. So there are 35 questions that the app asks. Okay, now after they finish this observation form, app figures out कि कहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम है. मदर पानी पी रही है, यस पी रही है. मदर सीधी बैठी, यस पी रही है. तो उस पे कुछ सोल्यूशन नहीं आएंगे, बिकॉज मदर इज डूइंग करेक्टली. बट अगर लगे कि बच्चे का जो नेक है इट इज नॉट एक्सटेंडेड, और इफ द माउथ इज नॉट बिग इनफ 120 डिग्री, वो ग्राफिक्स से हेल्थ केयर वर्कर नोज कि कहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है, राइट? एंड देन थ्रू दोस प्रॉब्लम्स, app will come up with only 10-second clip from our 102 tutorials. Okay. It will find out ki exactly wo kaha, because each tutorial is 10 minutes. Now imagine you cannot teach 10 minutes every time you go to mother's house. You can't have a 10-minute टाइम, राइट? बट यहाँ पे अगर सपोज मुंह नहीं खुला तो अच्छा, क्यों मुंह कितना खुलना चाहिए, कैसे खुलेगा, बच्चे को क्या करना है, all that will come in 10 to 20 second clip. And then it also has a lot of graphics. So there any graphic comes up that mother will know exactly, कि अच्छा मुझे ऐसा करना था, अच्छा ये नाक यहाँ पे होना चाहिए, you know what I mean? So all this very nitty gritty and a very problem focused solution that we are giving in this application. And the other thing is it has also direct link to WhatsApp. So we have mother's number in there. So as soon as that video comes up, she can directly WhatsApp to the mother. It goes directly to her number. There is no other intervention. Just click on it. It goes directly to mother's phone, right? And nowadays, all these young mothers are so familiar with WhatsApp and YouTube, right. And they're very educated. And in fact, even this is true even in tribal areas. So we are taking advantage. If she doesn't have it, her husband may have it, but at least all those tutorials, all that information is going to her phone directly. And at the same time, what we have done, we have created this protocol. Protocol means it's very much like how we do it in US. Okay. So for example, first 2 weeks are the most important time period for mothers to learn breastfeeding techniques, right? So what we have done, we have in our application, we have put in that protocol कि अच्छा अभी day 3 है, day 3 के बाद कभी देखना है वापस, day 5. So healthcare workers automatically get notification कि अभी ये बच्चे का visit 2 दिन में है. What exactly she's supposed to be doing, तो हाइट वेट जब डालती है तो ऑटोमेटिकली ग्रोथ चार्ट कम्स, एंड ऐप टेल्स हर कि ये बच्चे का वजन बढ़ा नहीं है ठीक तरह से, ये बच्चे का सैन है, बच्चा यहाँ पे स्टंटिंग है, अभी ये करना है. So like again, problem focused solution. So what this app we have created is not basically for administration or that. What we have created is basically for healthcare worker कि जहाँ पे वो फील्ड में, जब भी बैटल फील्ड में है और वहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है तो क्या करना है. It's a battlefield, right, for her, and she's fighting malnutrition, right? So, and but good thing is that, because it's a very sophisticated application, what we are doing is we also have dashboard for, say, health administration or CEO or DM, depending upon, like we have this, GPS system and everything, right? So we know exactly kahan pe kya ho raha hai, all that. And it's not only on breastfeeding, it's also on complementary feeding. means पूरा का हार 6 महीने के बाद, 6 months पे क्या क्या. So again the form comes up, and wherever the issue is, it again gives out 10-second clip. We have created recipes for each month. Baby कैसे खिलाना है, क्या खिलाना है, how much should be the consistency, all that, right? And the third form we have created is basically on protein. So pregnant mothers may, this form asks a lot of protein related questions. Which food mother is eating, and if the calculation is less than 80 grams, then again the protein video comes up and all the recipe videos comes up. All that, right? So it does a lot of this thing, and it took us almost 2 years to create this application.